Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Running the Bases breaking news podcast here today. It is Monday, January 11th, and we've got some breaking news today, as we have done for all of the big signings this offseason and big moves. We have been here live on our channel to cover it today. I'm joined by Ryan Blank, as we have some pretty big news, as Liam Hendriks, the star former closer of the Oakland Athletics, has signed a 3-year, $54 million contract with the Chicago White Sox. Those numbers are per Mark Feinsand. What a big deal right off the bat. We've been talking about Hendriks for a while. He's had a lot of rumors. A lot of teams have been in on him, but the White Sox going out and making this big splash. What are your initial takeaways?
Here's the thing. We also have to remember there's a fourth-year option. And if that option is not used, it's a $15 million buyout. With the way that Liam Hendriks has been pitching the past couple of years, they're definitely going to use it. And as they should. Because here's the thing. You look at a guy like Liam Hendriks. He is the best closer in baseball. He and Devin Williams are the two best relievers in baseball. Not just because of the awards they got this year, because they truly are. Those awards show that, and they're just representation of it. But going more with Liam Hendriks, what you have to look at is his dominance over the past couple seasons. Past couple seasons he's had, I believe, let me go check my numbers I have in my notes. Can you still see me on the screen?
I cannot, no.
Oh, sorry about that. I just want to make sure I have my numbers right. Yes, 39 saves and a 1.79 ERA over the past two seasons. That is the best ERA of any pitcher with at least 75 innings. And over those 110 and a third innings that he's had, he struck out 161 batters. In 2019, first time being a piece of the All-Star teams. First time in his 9-year Major League career. And this past season, finished 9th in AL Cy Young. He's been terrific. And then if you want to look at the White Sox as a whole real quick, they just traded for Lance Lynn, who over the past couple seasons with the Rangers went 22-14 with a 3.57 ERA. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is a great pickup. I love it. I thought they were actually going to stick with Alex Colomé and try to go with other pieces. Like, I expect them to make a run at George Springer. But then they went out and got a guy like Adam Eaton, you know? And I think that took that away, and that's where that freed up the money to get a guy like Liam Hendriks. And that's a big pickup for them. That really bolsters that bullpen. And what we knew was, after the season, we knew that they have the offense. They have the power. They have the hitting. They need the pitching. Get Lance Lynn. Compare with Giolito and, of course, Dallas Keuchel, who is great. Both those guys are a great duo. Now add Lance Lynn. That bullpen just got stronger with the best reliever in baseball.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at this team right now, this is the best team in the AL Central. The Twins are great, but the White Sox were...
Time out.
Hey, let's take a look.
It's a given.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. This is actually
okay. Good.
It's a given.
Wow.
This is the best team in the AL Central.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this team, I mean, look, the White Sox and Twins were going at it heavily last year. The Indians have jumped out of the running. This solidifies it. I mean, with the additions of Lance Lynn.
You know who's jumping in, though.
The Royals. Hey, the Royals are a legitimate third-place team. I can see it. I really could. I could even see him maybe push for second, depending on how the Twins do. But, I mean, this White Sox team right now, after getting Adam Eaton and Lance Lynn, honestly, the three biggest teams this offseason have been the Mets, the Padres, and now the White Sox. The White Sox were kind of just living with, okay, one big move away. They're there now. I told you guys in the postseason that this White Sox...
I also want to mention, you got to mention the Braves. They really need another starter. They got Morton. They're set. What they really need to focus on is bullpen. And, of course, every team says we need bullpen. But great bullpen arms are a commodity. And that's the thing with Liam Hendriks is he's the best bullpen arm in baseball, and he just got his deal. And the White Sox just got him. And guys like that don't come around very often. There are starting pitchers who are all over the place, who are free agents every year, who can be dominant pieces. We know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that about relievers a lot. The last great reliever to get a huge contract like this, I believe, was Wade Davis, and you look how he struggled in Colorado.
Yeah.
So I really think that this is the best move that we could have seen from the White Sox, because now their bullpen gets a big boost. And their bullpen wasn't even that bad last year. Did it have some struggles? Yes. But it was not, overall, it was not a bad bullpen. They just got the best closer. And you know what? If Colomé is cheap, they could bring him back to be the setup man.
I completely agree. And I think that's the great thing about it here is that, you know, you look at I mean, yes, Colomé had such a great year, and I mean, he was that star out of that bullpen. But I mean, there's really no question about it that these guys are now better. I mean, with Alex Colomé and Liam Hendriks in that bullpen, this team is incredible. And I even said it to you guys last postseason, like I was saying before, that this White Sox team already has one of the best bullpens in baseball. They're going to get better now. I mean, that just is a given, and it's really important for them to do that. Their offense is potent. I do believe that they're one big bat away from having a top 5 offense. Their offense is great, but they really need contributions from guys like Yohan Moncada. They also need Luis Robert to be a little bit more. He's got to be a little bit more up to where he needs to be. He didn't really play very well this year.
I believe the word you're looking for there is consistent, because he's got the power. That team has so much power, and you really saw that at the beginning. They were power heavy, and then here comes Tim Anderson, who is more of a contact guy. And look, they went from pretty good without him to very good because they have that contact bat. And I believe Luis Robert can be that guy who can bring contact and power. He just got to get, he has to strike out less, and he's got to get his bat on the ball more. And that's what it was. And I think that's what cost him Rookie of the Year, was that his average was not there and his strikeout numbers were not very good.
And it's also interesting because I remember at the beginning of the offseason when we were seeing that maybe the White Sox aren't going to be spenders. And there was all the rumors of, oh, well, the White Sox aren't going to be able to make these big signings. This is a big deal. I mean, I personally was really hoping the Mets would go out and get Liam Hendriks. Obviously, that is clearly off the table. But this also really now leaves, I mean, if you look at the relievers left on the market, this now makes Brad Hand, who already was the top reliever, but Brad Hand is still the top reliever on the market. But I find it fitting that today MLB released their top 10 relievers, which is even weirder that they did that today, just a couple hours ago when Liam Hendriks signs. Maybe they knew something, but I mean, this is,
they always know things. They always know things that we don't know. There's always the rumors that aren't reported, and there's all that. But at the same time, I really think that they're going to put that stuff out because that's really what it comes down to. And if you didn't see Buster Olney's piece about how this could be a very slow offseason and it could be a long winter, that's what it's been really. And we didn't expect that. Guys like Bauer are still there. And
Real Muto
and Springer. All these top guys are still there. And LeMahieu. And what we're waiting on is that big move to get going. I'm hoping this is that move. I am hoping for that because I think that's really what we want to see. Yeah. Because we love doing this. We love seeing some teams stock up. So I think that's great. And this is just a massive addition to an immensely talented team in the White Sox. I love this pickup for them. Do I love it because I'm a Royals fan? No, I love it because this is a team that could easily represent the AL in the World Series next year by far. And easily they could become the favorite. They really could. And I think what they need to do now is they got to get a DH because their DH last year was McCann and Encarnacion, but I believe Encarnacion's gone, and we know James McCann's gone. Mm-hmm. So what we need to know is who's going to be that DH, one, and two, can they add another guy with a contact bat? They already did that with Adam Eaton, and I love that pickup. A low, under-the-radar signing, and that's a guy who has a lot of great contact and gets on base and is a threat on the base pass. I think that's a great signing. So I really like that. I really do. I really like it. And they just got to they're just that one bat away, in my opinion. But this was a bullpen that was really good last year. If you look at it, there were a few guys with like Steve Cishek and then Jimmy Cordero and guys like Gio Gonzalez and Carlos Rodon who had like above 5 ERAs. But you also have to look at Matt Foster, 2.2, Alex Colomé, 0.81, Evan Marshall, 2.38. There's a lot of talent in that bullpen. And this is where you can really see those guys shine because now they've got their guy at the back end. And if I were them, I get Colomé back. He shouldn't be too expensive. If he's not too expensive, bring him back and bring him in as your setup man. And I think you have a very, very good bullpen right there. They have a good bullpen right now to get them very good and to get them that one step higher. Get Hendriks that setup man, and that guy is Alex Colomé.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's going to boil down to that. And I mean, all of our predictions, a lot of us in our predictions that we did predicted a lot of pitchers to go to the White Sox. I personally believe Corey Kluber is going to end up there. And you had a few others that were going to end up there too. And we all knew that the White Sox are going to be looking at pitching a lot this offseason. We know they have the offense. We know that they have the players, but it's just a matter of getting the players that they need to make this the best team. They're in the same situation as a lot of other teams where they have holes to fill. Honestly, I see a lot of similarities between the White Sox and the Mets for how they're approaching the offseason, where they needed a bat, they needed a starting pitcher and a reliever. That's why you saw them in the same market as the Mets for a lot of these guys, which is why they're kind of battling it out. Do I think this now helps the Mets a little bit? Because yes, I think that takes them out of Brad Hand, but I really think that this is going to, I mean, like you mentioned, this could be the starting point. And I think that really the starting point was with the Padres with their trades. I think the Padres made those trades and then boom, that opened up the floodgates, because then we saw Lindor. We saw a couple other things, and now here we are. I think we might finally start to be cracking the ice a little.
Here's the thing. With Brad Hand, I think he's to be a guy that goes to an under-the-radar team like the Cardinals. I think that's who I predicted him to. I'm pretty sure I did. And here's the thing. There's always going to be that thing about, oh, yeah, we're going to have so much of those big name teams come in, but there's those small market teams like the Royals who came in out of nowhere and grabbed Mike Minor and Carlos Santana on cheaper deals. You could see that happen. So I love how teams are taking this slow and diligently, but of course, once that one move hits, the floodgates open, and I'm waiting for it, and that's what I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just a really big move, obviously, here. This is so big for the White Sox, getting their team. They are now one step closer to that goal, a team that has been pushing for the last decade to get to where they are, getting those players. This is now a really, really good team that has just taken that one step further, and we'll have to wait and see. More things are to come. Unfortunately, we do have to sign off. I mean, being with these breaking news shows, we've got other stuff that we have to do, but this is a big move. Liam Hendriks, again, just to reiterate, going to the White Sox on a 3-year, $53 million contract. He has a 4th-year option. This is a big deal for them. They are now going to have that big guy. We'll see where they go from here, but this could be the end for the White Sox offseason, or maybe it won't be. We'll see how they approach the rest of it.
I can see them going out again. I think they're going to go out and get a power bat.
I completely agree. I think that they're going to go. I think they're going to at least get one more somewhat namely player, but we'll have to wait and see. Thank you all for tuning in.
You know what would shock me?
What?
If they steal Nelson Cruz from the Twins.
That would be.
Would not shock me.
That would be a big boy deal right there. So,
exactly.
Again, we'll have to wait and see. That's what we've been saying all offseason, is we're going to be waiting and seeing. But again, if you want to find out.
I hate how much we've been waiting and seeing.
So
Give
much.
Us the C part. I'm waiting.
We've been waiting. So if you want.
But you know what? I'm happy that we finally had a breaking news show about a signing instead of
a trade.
So, hey, that's an upgrade.
It is. It's a definite upgrade. So if you want to be here for all of our breaking news shows, which we will be doing for any major moves that'll happen for the rest of the offseason, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when we are going live. You're not going to want to miss it. We will be covering all of these deals, some of them at more length than others today. Unfortunately, couldn't go too deep into it. And we'll also be having some other guests on the show today, just me and Ryan. So thank you for coming on out today, and we will see you